Hello, everybody. It's Dottie and Jay. We're back with another Seed of Success for today. And thank you for joining us and watching us for Seeds of Success. Dottie and I had a conversation just a little bit ago, and she asked me, she said, what do you think the value is in having a marketing plan? What's your idea for value for a marketing plan? And I got to tell you what, I came off with some ideas right off the bat. And then I said, Dottie, let's not have this conversation anymore. Let's just turn the recorder on and let's do it live. So Dottie, I'm going to pass it right over to you, because when you asked me what the value for me was of having a marketing plan, it was clear. I said, it keeps you focused, keeps you on track, and it makes sure that your marketing efforts are on the top of the list, or they're at least palpable and they can be seen at all times. But you also brought out some good points. So I'm going to ask you, why is it important to plan ahead for having a marketing list?
Well, first of all, Jay,
A marketing calendar, sorry, not list.
The type business that we're in, we know what it's like on a routine day. We get pulled away from what it is that we're wanting to do. And sometimes when we get back in our office after having to go check in the beer order, or maybe the next day we're getting back into the office because we've had to go work the front counter because so-and-so called in sick.
Right.
Sometimes when we get back in that chair and the focus that we had that was so important to us at that time,
the moment's lost.
The moment's lost. And
yeah.
So, there is, and we all need to have more customers. We all need to have more revenue coming in. And marketing is the way that we need to put that plan. We need to have a plan in place, and we need to systematically go after that business and bring business through our doors. And it often falls to the bottom of the list for those, for a number of different reasons. And so by having a plan in place, and Jay, one of the things we talked about earlier is I'm a big advocate of writing that plan down on a paper and putting it in front of you and seeing it day in and day out right in front of you, whether it's taping it on your monitor or putting it on your desk and not covering it up.
Right. Or putting it on the employee bulletin board so that everybody else can see it too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But have something in place and reference it routinely.
So then let's go back even one step further from that. Yeah, you're going to want to write this down. Yeah, you're going to want to be able to show it and be able to have, but when you're creating this, you need to set time aside to actually create this marketing plan. We joked and you said, because, well, oftentimes, you got to, like I said, you might have to work the snack bar this week because you don't have an employee yet. Somebody quit or you fired, whatever. You're always stretched thin in a bowling center because you're wearing all of those hats. You're wearing the facility manager hat, the HR manager, you're doing it all. So marketing tends to fall to the bottom because it's such a specialized thing. And what ends up happening sometimes, which we discussed, you said, if you don't have the plan and next thing you know, it's time to do something, you just throw something together and you can't do that off the cuff. And I reminded you, I go, well, we can do that off the cuff sometimes because we're so good at it. For example, and I'll just throw this out there, like, your New Year's Eve parties, you probably run those every year. So you could just push rinse and repeat, change your flyer and do the same thing again for that. Maybe you're going to tweak the offerings, maybe you're going to tweak the food or whatever for different reasons. But we know we can pull certain things out of the air and get them done pretty good without too much planning involved, because most of our employees have seen it. We've done it 15 times. That's fine. But should all of your marketing efforts be like that? No, right?
No.
Because if you do, you're going to be missing the whole point of marketing.
Right. And the thing is, when you plan ahead, I personally, to have a plan in place for the entire year and modify that kind of as you go is the way I prefer to work. But with a marketing plan, you want to make sure that the programs and the promotions that you're putting in place have a purpose. You want to have accountability for that promotion. You want to know that this is what I'm setting out to do with this promotion. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is how I'm going to measure whether I achieved what I was going to do. So you don't just put a promotion together just for the
sake of saying, well, I need a promotion, I'm going to do this. No, that's not the point.
Everything that you're going to market has a purpose, and you need to be mindful of that. And even to the point of this particular promotion, the purpose of it is to bring in more teenagers.
Right.
That's
So
going to
I'm
determine.
gonna pause you right there, and I'm gonna say let's go even back farther. So when we talk about sitting down and writing out a marketing calendar for the year, what we're really saying is sit down and identify what your goals are for your particular business and your particular location. So if my goal this year is to increase my open play by 5%, maybe my goal is to sell 20% more food and beverage. I don't know what your goals are, but you need to develop some of those goals. You can start small. You can have one goal. You could have two goals. It's fine, but have a goal. Then with that goal in mind, say, what can I do that's going to help me reach these goals or this goal that I've outlined in the month of January, in the month of February, in the month of March, or even if you're just not comfortable, let's just say Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You could be that simple with it to start. But when you're doing it properly, you're not going to be satisfied with a quarter market. You're going to want to break that down into months. So I'm going to go back to you and say, if I'm willing to sit down, I should be willing to sit down and devote some time to this. And before it's finalized, I want that document out on my desk. I want to be able to look at it every day for a week and say, did I miss something here? Is this stirring anything up that I'm reminding myself of? And then you said something really important. Why should we share it with our employees? Why should we share it with our key staff?
Well, you know, Jay, that is how, number one, they have good input. So they may see something that, you know, that you don't. Plus, the other thing, anytime you can bring the employees along and incorporate them into the planning stages, they're going to be more apt to execute it. They're going to want to do it. They're going to buy into it. And
they have investment now.
They do. But, you know, more so, sometimes they have such great things that they want to contribute, and they wind up being, you know, some of the biggest promotions and the best promotions that we have. And that's kind of also sometimes how you find some of those key employees. You kind of start to see them rise up and you know, see what some of their strengths are. But yes, when you start to form that plan and you put it together and you bring the employees in, it's so easy to go back when you do get distracted and pick it up and revisit it. It's no different than when you're trying to save money. If you stop saving for any period of time, it's so hard to go back. Or you know, going to the gym, for example.
Right.
If you stop, if you're going and you're going and you're going and you're going and you stop for a period of time, it's so hard to go back. Same thing here, but if you have a plan in place, it's right in front of you. I'm not saying that you build a plan at the end of each year that you just run through it for 12 months. That
quite the
has
opposite.
to be constantly monitored. There's trends that happen. There's changes in business. There's changes in employees. There's competitors come into town. All of those things have to go into play when you are writing your marketing calendar. So once you get that calendar and you finalize it and fine tune it, that doesn't mean you set it there and you don't, you know, work with it again.
Right.
You have to constantly refine it.
And having it in front of both the employees and yourself and letting them be a part of it is part of that refinement process, right? So let's just say, for example, you know, you're running your January marketing calendar that you've already planned and you're in the middle of January. And, you know, your employees can look at that and go, well, I see you've got this plan for next week, but we haven't done that really well with this segment of the customers. And you know, where we do have opportunity is over here. How can we tweak this and then get those dollars and those people engaged from this market when we know this one's a tougher sell? You know, maybe we work on something for next month to include those people or that particular function, whatever it may be. But the ongoing monitoring and looking and reviewing, don't be afraid. It's not a stone tablet that you carved. It is paper and pen that you've written down. So it's not hard to make some pivots when you need to.
Well, and the other thing is when you're developing your marketing calendar, make sure that you are developing it in a sense that if someone needs to pick up a particular promotion or program and execute it, you have all of the pieces in place for them to be able to do that. The purpose of it is clearly stated. and the steps to execute it, and everything is in place, because then you can delegate to someone else.
That's the key right there.
This isn't something you have to do all on your own.
You shouldn't actually do it all on your own. Even if you are the smallest of centers, you got the little 8-lane center and you do everything, you really should employ the brain power of at least a couple other people to come in and be a part of this process with you.
That's right. And Jay, whether you're an 8-lane center or
an 80-lane center, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. A marketing calendar and a marketing plan is important for everybody, no matter how big or how small.
Or how small, because you have to consider some things. And I'm going to hit this one thing. Why would you need to plan it like so far in advance? Well, you might have to get printing done. That doesn't happen overnight. I mean, yeah, you can go to Office Max or Office Depot, or I'm going to date myself and say Kinko's, but because people know what that is. But you can print stuff on the fly. That's great. And that's fine, but you may need other types of printing done, and that doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. There's a turnaround time. You might need to plan to buy advertising space, either in a paper or some digital ad space, or heaven forbid, you're doing news copy. These things still exist and they're still powerful. And finally, one of the biggest things that people often forget is we might have to change our staffing levels based on whatever type of function we're trying to run. I might need more food service that night. I might need an extra counter person. I might need 3 extra lane servers. I don't know what your plans are, but be aware that these are things that don't happen overnight. So if you're trying to plan it overnight, you're already in the hole.
And the other thing is, Jay, speaking of staff, is that maybe you need to give them a little bit of training based on whatever, your promotion or your program is. Or maybe you want to buy swag, and, swag is something that people love to get nowadays. So if that's something you want to have as part of your program, there is a lead time involved with that, so that you're not having to pay expedited shipping and rush service and things like that. So, these days we are looking where there's opportunities for us to save money, and that this is one of those cases where if you plan ahead, you're not having to be rushing it and paying for.
You're not paying rush order shipping. You're not paying rush job printing costs. You're not paying all those extra fees to get it quickly because you didn't plan properly. All right, now I'm in agreement with this fully. So we've agreed that you should sit down at least well in advance of when you want to start your thing, create that plan, bring people into the fold with the plan, post the plan. What should the plan entail, Dottie? What are the things that I'm putting on this? We talked about some of them, but let's be a little more comprehensive here.
We did. So Jay, there's so many things. You've got, any of the programs that you're doing. You've got kids' birthday parties, and kids' birthday parties are definitely one of those things that you need to market. You don't just let them walk through your door. Yes, you do get repeat parties from that, but there should be a plan in place that you solicit. Look at all your Kids Bowl free.
That's where I was going to go.
Are you just sitting on that data, not doing anything with it? You should be leveraging that data.
So let me push the pause button on that. If you are the center that doesn't market birthday parties in an effective way, and you pretty much just wait for people to call and book them, you are leaving so much revenue on the table, right? Absolutely. What happens when we take the time to go through 2-3 months out, pull a marketing list from our data that we have, and we know birthday parties, these known birthdays are coming up in this next quarter, month, whatever, frequency you want to do it, and market to them well in advance before they plan, you're going to double, triple the volume of birthday parties you have. Guaranteed, without a doubt.
Absolutely. The other thing that you should be marketing are your field trips to your schools, to your daycares when school is out and all the after schoolers are stuck at the daycare. Are you marketing your field trips prior to spring break when all the kids are out of school and daycares are looking for places to go?
Absolutely.
Those are things that should be on your calendar. Corporate parties. All companies, post-COVID may be a little bit different, but previously, the time of year to market your to corporate for the holidays was
September-ish.
Yes, after the summer leagues are on the floor, you need to be concentrating on holiday parties for companies. Right. So, those are a few of the things. And of course, you need to market your leads. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and if you are that type of center that's not your thing, where you're just waiting for the secretary to tell you how many teams we're going to have this year, you're also missing the boat there, right? You should be filling any gaps any gaps of 4 lanes or more, you should probably try to fill with a program. Doesn't have to be called a league, but there are so many alternatives to the word league and formats that are not necessarily the same as a traditional competitive league that you can maximize revenue from. Those bowlers can be blended in with the league bowlers successfully if you have the right plan in mind.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Jay, to put on our marketing calendar open play promotions that are based
That's the
on
biggest chunk
holiday,
right there.
A unique holiday. Maybe it's Hot Dog Day that you can have a promotion around, or maybe you are needing a promotion that brings in teenagers, or maybe you're looking for a promotion that's going to bring in kids and families. Those are open play promotions that need to go on your marketing calendar. So, gosh, you know, I say if you have not got a marketing calendar and marketing plan in place right now, this is January.
This is your wake-up call, your homework, people. This is your homework.
Go do it today. And
Dottie and Jay said, get it done.
Absolutely.
We'll give you permission to skip January because it's January for us right now. You might be watching this in another month, but you can skip the current month. Start with the next one, right? At least do that for yourself.
Just
start.
And
do like we said, pick a month or pick a quarter and say, I'm going to do these 3 things this month or this quarter. That's a start. Once you see the effectiveness of that, you're going to be fueled by your own successes to go, oh, I'm going to do this again because this is working for me. So, well,
Jay, this has been really exciting. You know, when we get together, we, like you said, we tend to, you know, we can go on and on and on, but this is one of those things that you and I are both very passionate about because we have both seen what can be done if you have a very dedicated mindset on doing your marketing. And so, you know, in all seriousness, if you don't have a marketing calendar or a marketing plan, you can start small, but start somewhere and start today.
Somewhere. Very good.
So this has been fun. I hope this has been very enlightening for people. I'm sure a lot of people are very religious in their marketing plans and their marketing calendars, and hats off to you. But for those of you that are not, take a few minutes because I guarantee you having a plan for success will be very, very worthwhile.
Yeah, and if you need help with this process, you can reach out to us. Drop us an email, vmm@cubicaamf.com. The letter V, 2 M's at cubicaamf.com. We'll reply to you. We've got services we could sell you, or you know, if it's just a thought or a good note, good, what am I trying to say?
Best practice.
There we go. Wow. Anyway, so there's your seed of success for today is get that marketing calendar and get it as detailed as you can get it and start today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. And until next time, from Dottie and Jay, have a great day.